Namaste, angels. This will be our full moon in Libra reading. I'm going to begin with going over what's the almanac says the moon is going to be about real quick. They're calling it the full sap moon or the full blue sap moon. The reason for that is there are many alternative names for the March moon, depending upon the Native American tribe or region. One alternative name is the full sap moon, and this is the time of year when the sap of sugar maples starts to flow. So we're calling this second full moon in March the full sap moon. It's also called a blue moon. So some people are calling it the blue sap moon, and the reason for that is that when there are two full moons that occur in a singular month, the second is called a blue moon, and that's from www.almanac.com. Of course, the Farmer's Almanac, created by Benjamin Banneker. Also important to note, I think, just general information, not from the almanac, March 31st is the 90th day of the year. Be aware of the 9, because there's also a bunch of 9s associated with the full moon that I went over, I think, in the general reading this week, but I will try to remember and quickly go over again. It had to do with the time and the date. So March 31st, 2018 is in fact a 9, right? It's 3, 4, 2 equals 9. Also, the full moon is occurring at 8:37 a.m. That equals 9 as well. It's a full moon, 10 degrees Libra 45. 45 is another 9. So 9s are about, in numerology, they're about humanitarianism and the need to help your community and use your purpose and your gifts towards your community. To that end, I want to stop right now before I forget and say thank you very much to Alice for coming up with the idea. She wanted to gift me and my divine masculine, divine light cleanses. And some of you might be saying, like, why would she have to gift them to you? You do them. Yes, this is true. I can do them for myself. But when she asked me about it, like, are you able to do divine light cleansing yourself? I said, yes, but I don't. And I don't do them on my divine masculine either. I've done it on him once when several were gifted and they had all been claimed. But one, I said, I'm going to give this one to him since it was put in my hands as to who to give it to. Even then, I didn't give it to myself. And I said, particularly at this time of year, and today, the day on which I'm doing this reading, it's Good Friday. I said, Jesus just, would have just spent the last 40 days denying, rebuking the devil and refusing to use his gifts on himself. So I always want to be more of an ascended being, more like him, more of that Christ energy. So I wouldn't, do it use my gifts toward myself either. But if somebody else wanted to gift me, somebody else wanted to show me unconditional love, that I accept, as I give it. So she came up with the idea. So thank you very much, Lily. But thank you to those who donated as well. It was Ivy and Latoya and Lily herself, of course, and Marianne and that may have been, they may have knocked out my divine masculines right then and there by themselves. Those 4, I think they did. And then she was trying to collect on my behalf as well. And when, it hadn't happened fast enough for her, she gifted it to me. So anybody who would have given, if you're out there and you're listening and you would have, if I had known about it, I would have donated. Please still do. and then we'll just give Lily back her money. And it's more people. Now she'd be receiving that gift of unconditional love from strangers. And this is what we're meant to do. Be a blessing to another. Be blessed to be a blessing. So on that note, I'll get back to this. So on March 31st, also what occurs is Venus enters Taurus. Now, this is funny because Venus is the ruler of both Taurus and Libra. So she's busy. She's busy over these next few weeks. So we're going to focus with this reading on 2 weeks. See if there's anything else I wanted to tell you about. Well, I guess I wanted to tell you about how I feel about what the moon is going to be, or what energy it will bring to us. So there's a lot of other things going on, as you know. It's Mercury retrograde also. I guess I do want to mention Mercury retrograde and what else happens during this period of the 2 weeks on which we're focusing. On April 14th at 5:58 a.m., Jupiter will be sextile Pluto. And Jupiter, of course, currently not only in, but retrograde in Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto. So that should be interesting too. The following day, April 15th, is a big day that many of us, for which many of us are waiting. That is when Mercury goes direct again. Also on April 15th, the new moon in Aries. So of course, this reading would stop there, because at that point there's new moon energy, right? So we got that. Now, what else do I feel about the moon? Okay, so Venus is entering Taurus. Mars, her counterpart as it relates to the planet of love, right? Venus will be the feminine planet of love, but in general, she's the planet of love, period. Also beauty and popularity and money, abundance, right? But her counterpart as it relates to love, Mars, the masculine planet of love, is also the planet of action. Now, where's the planet of action? This is where it gets tricky. The planet of action is sitting in Capricorn, which is the zodiac ruled by the planet of restriction, restraint, stagnation. We're stuck. We're stubborn too. We're stuck because we don't want to move in many cases. We don't even know why we don't want to move. That's Capricorn and Saturn. But similarly, Venus in Taurus is all about, it can be the same thing because you have the stubbornness, the negative aspect of Taurus it's stubborn like a bull, right? Taurus the bull. So you have that. But on the positive side, you have Venus guiding you while in Taurus to please your senses, to make sure your relationships feel good, sound good. The language of love that's being shared between two people, it's right. We vibe. This even smells good. Maybe pheromones and things, right? Venus would be rule of all that. So you have all that going on too. So it's similar to the Mars. Like while you have the planet of action wanting to go, you also have the planet of action sitting in this place where it might be stuck. It's like stop but go, stop but go. Like you're driving but the emergency brake is on. That type of thing, which is dangerous. You could fuck up your car. Okay, we're the car, we're the vehicle. So same thing with Venus. We're going to be moved to do all these things and go to where your senses are engaged and pleased. But at the same time, not only do we have that Taurus stepping in to maybe break us stubborn, but I don't want to go because I have an ego, even though I'm feeling pushed. We also have Libra, also ruled by Venus, which says, do the right thing. Do the right thing. for you and as many other people, as possible, your environment. Libra and Venus and the Queen of Swords in general is about being fair, just, diplomatic, equitable. This moon will guide us to do that as well. And it's sort of like, so not only are we going to want to do the right thing in relationships and be in the right relationships, it's also a matter of the relationship feeling, again, right. And this is all aspects. This is not just love. This is all relations of relationship. I just feel like the beauty of it will outweigh those parts that are restrictive. Like love conquers all. That's what I feel. Love will conquer all. And ultimately the right thing will be done. I think that's it. I had something up here open on my computer that I forgot about. That it's from a website, tarot.com, where they explain what Venus in Taurus is. You know what? I'll go ahead and read it. I wasn't going to because I said I want to get into it, but I'll go ahead quickly. So this is from tarot.com as opposed to my thoughts, which is what I just gave you. When Venus is in Taurus, when this loving planet enters the earthy sign of Taurus, we're reminded of just how beautiful the world can be. I've never read this before, I'm reading it with you. Venus's presence in this patient zodiac sign signals a time of simplifying complexities, getting down to fundamentals, and rebuilding relationships from the ground up. This is an ideal time to bring love and money issues out into the open so that they can be dealt with directly and easily. Dating is delightful when Venus is in Taurus. It encourages us to slow down, live in the moment, and to find ways to enjoy the company of someone special. Maybe you and your sweetheart will cuddle up and watch a great movie, open up a good bottle of wine, or feast on something delicious. This is the time when you'll both be in the mood to indulge your senses. So that's what I was talking about. The senses have to be pleased. Taurus is a security-oriented sign that seeks stability over torrid passion. That means when this planet and sign get together, we're more drawn to commitment than quick affairs or casual dating. If you want a relationship or you've had your eye on someone for a while, this could be the time when you decide to take things to the next level. You may want to wait to that last day, though, April 15th, when Mercury goes direct. There's a possibility that our partnerships could get bogged down by the infamous stubbornness Taurus is known for when Venus is in Taurus, and not just when Venus is in Taurus. In general, Taurus is known as the bull and stubborn as a bull. This is one drawback of this cosmic coupling that everyone should be mindful of. If you're in a relationship or on track toward commitment, this might be the time when it's more difficult for the two of you to move forward as a couple. And that wouldn't be just because of Venus in Taurus. Also, it's more difficult because of Mercury retrograde. So that's what I meant about how many things are going on at the same time. But ultimately, I think love will win. Compromise can be difficult when you're dealing with the bull. If you're single, this is a time when you'll feel some internal resistance to opening up yourself and letting in someone new. But remember, a little bit of flexibility can go a long way. So that's the Venus in Taurus. But at the same time, you got Libra also ruled by Venus, which is making you do the right thing. So just keep all of that in mind. And I think, again, I think love will conquer all. All right. So on that note, beginning with, as far as the dice go, spend money. Try again. and romantic dinner. Spirit says massage, party, but I'm also being shown 29, romantic partnership. And it's 50-50. So we've got to go half on that partnership. It needs to be fair and equitable, like Libra would insist on. It's got to be diplomatic. We both have to do the work. I also wanted to begin with an opening message from the cards. This is my Journey of Love oracle, and I shuffled right to She is the Moon, so that's appropriate. It, of course, is about surrender. The moon is about surrender, but not only that, it's also about timing. So I guess like more so surrendering to divine timing. And if it feels like something's going too fast, not just too slow, like things are moving too fast, I can't believe I'm in this whirlwind relationship. Oh, let it be. Like, don't try to stop it. Only try to stop things that feel unnatural. So again, remember your senses as it relates to Venus and Taurus, right? If your senses are pleased, just let it be. Go with the flow. Go with the time. It's like, for example, the quote unquote karmic relationships that many of us are, you know, meeting people and we're like, well, you know, what do I do? I say, do what feels organic. Do what feels organic, because sometimes we are meant to have some sort of experience with some party other than, you know, our divine partner. And there's a reason for it. There's a lesson that has to be learned. There's a reason. And we can't put the time on that. You know, well, I'll just talk to this person for a week and you know, then I'll get back to, you know, it's divine timing. So do as guided. Do as guided. Not because like you're lonely or something, only what feels organic, what feels real, and live in the moment, as we just read. That's what the Venus and Taurus is going to be about, and that's what I think in large part the journey's about, and that's what this moon in Libra is also going to be about. So if you feel things going too slow, same thing. It's not too slow, it's in divine time. And you can't force it and you can't push it. Well, you can, but you shouldn't. All right, so what's our official beginning message? Falling. Card number 14 equals 5. Fives are about change. Can be about conflict, drama. So there may be more of that to come. In supreme math, 5 is culture freedom. And it, I guess in some ways it still is about change, because what it means is your freedom is basically in your own hands. You've got to change your culture or your environment, your surroundings. You've got to make adjustments to like pull yourself free or claim yourself free and just be that and then live in that moment. All right, but I'll read this card quickly. Falling. Don't worry. You may fear you're falling, but it's just your soul diving deeper into the ocean of bliss. Are you sensing parts of your life flying away from you, out of control, as the momentum of your divine surrender takes over and becomes more powerful than the old adhesive between you and what no longer serves? Laugh, cry, celebrate, and ponder. Whether it makes sense or not, you are like a perfectly ripe fruit falling from the universal tree, succulent and ready to be enjoyed for all that you are. If you wait any longer, this moment will be lost and you'll end up on the ground having to decay and to go to seed in order to start the whole process again. This is not so bad, but what a shame if your sweet nectar was not to be savored by the hungry world. You deserve to be declared the most delicious, juicy fruit that ever was. So fall. You'll end up exactly where you're meant to be. This oracle contains a message for you. You're being called closer into divine union and into the fulfillment of your destiny now. It's safe for you to trust what's happening. Go with it. It might seem like you're being asked to take a leap of faith. It's the right timing for that. It's your time to give yourself in love without holding back anything of yourself. Is it wrong to love? To feel what I hold inside? The answer must wait. So that was basically what I described about the other card, as well as what I had been talking about planet, as it relates to the planetary situation, the current celestial situation. So we were all, again, as always, sort of brought 360 back to the same message. This is going to be about divine timing, but also about our senses being pleased, us being pleased, serving our purpose, doing what's right, all at the same time, taking action, not taking action, if we're not meant to, all at the same time. So now I wanted to quickly do a spread to see what's going on now. I'm doing this reading on Good Friday at the present, before we officially enter the energy of the moon. Well, we've entered it already, but before that sort of takes over, while we're still in this other energy, maybe lingering of the last moon. What can we expect? With what energy are we entering the official full moon period and reading period? And I'm beginning with justice, which represents the sign of the planet Venus, and the sign of Libra, again, which she rules, and the sign in which the moon will be. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. This can represent some other air sign as well. As a matter of fact, as I was shuffling, it appeared that part of what's going on is going to be, as usual, having to do with parties of three. But this time, more specifically, those parties of three involving air and water signs. And maybe most specifically, Libra, Gemini, and Pisces. Because I'm beginning with justice, again, Libra. I also shuffle to the lovers, that represents the sign of Gemini, and the moon as well, Pisces. Okay, and on that note, as I say Pisces, opening to the king of water, who's trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work, which is love. The king of water is quite possibly a Pisces, also be a Scorpio or a Cancer, or anybody likened to these traits or attributes. King of water. Maybe he's part water and part air. And on that note, very nice. I like the energy that we're entering the period with thus far. Opening to the two of water from the king, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. Two of water. And the hermit. I meant to speak about this too, because I was also feeling things about the need to go within as it relates to everything that I talked about already. And like if you're unsure about your feelings and what you're sensing and all those things, go within. And I thought, you know what? It has to do with Virgo, which the hermit represents, the sign of Virgo in the tarot, has to do with Virgo. Because it could be like Virgo, Libra, cusp energy. Right? As we exit Virgo on the 23rd of September, we enter Libra. So that might be what's going on here. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. Maybe, again, as it relates to a relationship, a partnership, that involves love, not necessarily romantic, but I talked about all our relations. So friendships, familiar relationships, that maybe where there's conflict, whatever it is, and you got to go within. Who's this behind here? Oh, it's the king again. He ended up behind the two of water. Two of water, and talked about that Pisces. The seven of water represents for me the planet Neptune and the sign of Pisces, which it rules. A complex decision. The need to do research. Stop procrastinating. And I think somebody, maybe a few somebodies, may need to make a choice between two water signs. Two of water in the cut. Other than that, the seven of water is about fantasizing, dreaming, can be about setting goals or imagining your goals. When I grow up, I want to be, Betty Davis. But first, I want to be, oh, goodness. I can see her. Why is her name stuck? How Stella got her groove back. Why can't I picture this woman's name? Tina Turner. Lord. I want to be her anyway. I don't know why her name is stuck in my head. I can see it. I just can't get it out of my mouth, but I can see her. And then after her, I want to be Betty Davis. And then I don't care what else happens to me. So coming to the star, which major arcana card number 17 equals 8. It can be about karma still, and Jupiter, even though this represents the planet Uranus and the sign of Aquarius. So I talked about air and water coming out the gate, and so far that's what we're seeing. Air and water. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You're on the right path. That star could have been about communication. And it can also be about our dreams coming true. So those dreams that showed up with the 7 of water, for example, all those fantasies and things, them actually coming true, being brought to fruition by the energy of the star. And our overall energy for the reading is going to be another 14 or 5, like our card falling. This is balance or temperance in the traditional tarot, which is all about healing, karmic healing, like healing from the universe. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. So that message again, too, about divine timing. And we just got to, allow it to work through, for, and around us. Balance or temperance in the traditional tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. So like I said, we'll just do a quick spread here to see with what energy we are entering this period. The 8 of air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, being afraid to take action. This is the masculine feeling stuck, maybe because of Mars in Capricorn, or something else that he has going on in his life. It can be lack of esteem. He can need this Venus in Taurus in order to pick him up, in order for him to see the beauty within himself, and then free himself. He can need that energy of Uranus and Aquarius that seeks freedom, right? That's freedom loving, to pull away from that. It can be another 5. It can be that the energy of that 14 equals 5, culture freedom. You got to break away from that. It's your illusion that you're trapped. You're not trapped. You got to seek your own freedom and achieve it. So masculine is surrounded by the magician. This is how he's going to do it if he feels like that. The magician represents the sign of Gemini for me, but it can be another mutable sign as well. Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and it's about manifestation. And, whatever we need, creating it for ourselves in our own lives, making it happen. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. And life is magical. Major Arcana card, the Magician, number 1. Can also be about false, like a mask. I don't say that often, but it can be about like false masks. And maybe that's what this is. Like he's trapped within sort of like a costume. Like fake. I'm not being myself. Can also, I don't say this often either, but can also be like being a little bit unwell. I say it represents the sign of Gemini for me. I'm a Gemini. But yes, as I said a few minutes ago, all zodiacs have negative and positive aspects, including mine. So when I talk about other people's, it's not to, anything against them. I mean, no offense. I keep it real. It is what it is. So Geminis tend to be like naturally bipolar, or we have that ability as a negative. So it can be like that. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell, as the song goes. So that could be what's happening here too with the masculine for some of them. He has the ability again though to snap himself out of that and to manifest what he needs to free himself. He just has to claim it. You begin with claiming it. And his subconscious is the 4 of earth. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. Earth energy. This could be that Capricorn. Again, he's feeling restricted and feeling stuck, maybe holding back himself because he doesn't think he can step forward. He doesn't think he has it in him because of this 8 of air. But again, he does have this magician that can help him to jump out there. Feminine. We are crowned by the Queen of Air, independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Queen of Air is a Libra, maybe like the moon, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, or somebody likened to those traits or attributes, or who is making adjustments in their life and cutting away what doesn't serve them, because that's what we are the queens of. Objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in the situation. Feminine is surrounded by the Six of Air. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. We may even be taking a trip. This can represent actual vacations. It's a card of movement. And swords cards or air cards usually are not cards of movement. This one absolutely is. And not only movement, but movement forward. Never backward. It's forward. It's positive. It's forward moving energy. And it can be literal, as in we're going to travel. In the feminine subconscious, the Six of Fire, beautiful. Victory, good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. I said love would conquer all, love would triumph. And look, this is also that horse again that I talked about. 6 equals love. The universe is love. God is love. Jesus is love. Again, today is Good Friday. It is 3/3, right? It's 3:30. March 30th. That's 6 too. Crowning the 3 of Earth. I talked about the parties of 3. I had seen as I was shuffling the ones about water, but I've been talking about these with the Earth for a long time. This is also about abundance that's not only coming to you, but it's abundance that you deserve. It's earned. So it can have something to do with this victory, at least on the part of the feminine. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. Maybe this is reflective of the masculine's difficulty in pulling away from a party of 3. Yeah. Or claiming his win, whatever it is, this thing that he's earned, claiming it, not having the esteem, and the need for him to maybe rely on his feminine energy to take this knife and cut away, you know, that third extra energy, whatever's holding him back, whatever it is that's restricting him. And with this 8 and 3 here, you do have the 11 or 2 that could be representative of a partnership. This could have something to do with a partnership. Could be a business partnership too. Again, this is a general spread. And 3s can have to do with work, business. Sometimes they have to do with relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, at one's office or job or something too. At the root, the 10 of Air, the end of a difficult situation. We saw this in the general. These 2 cards come up together. They're crossing one another here as well. This is showing we're moving into better, calmer, stiller waters, better energy. You don't believe it? Well, boom, here's this one too. It's the end of a difficult situation, but you have to embrace the change and expect things to get better for them to actually do so. Some of us may even be recovering from addiction. I felt this in the general as well, that sometimes I say, oh, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with substance abuse. It's more so about codependency on any person, place, or thing. That is still true, but I felt a lot of this stuff with addiction coming up. And I went on to tell you the story about how my father had like abruptly decided to quit smoking. And I felt specifically alcoholism. I think I mentioned that in the general as well. But this can be any sort of addiction to which we've been like restricted to. We've been held back by. Some of us cutting the ties to that. And at the heart of the matter, the 3 of Fire. Wow, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans because we are moving forward. And here's another 9. And we're able to bring about the means to move forward. We have an upright card, so I'm going to use it. Let's see first to further clarify the 8 of Air. The 9 of Earth. So this is like the Hermit. The Hermit is also a 9 of Earth. That's major arcana card number 9. And again, represents the sign of Virgo, or maybe another Earth sign. And it's about the need to go within, spend some time with oneself to figure it out, you know, what you like and the fact that you like yourself, if nothing else, and what you love and the fact that you love yourself, and to get to enjoy being with you and spending time with you and liking you and loving you, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. Some of you will have to do that in order to pull out of this, this feeling of being stuck and limited and restricted. Next one is also upright. Let's see what it might have to say about the 3 of Earth. It's another 3. Awakening with Archangel Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So how are you going to be yourself if you don't know you? So this is important first. It's important to know yourself and like yourself and love yourself so that you can be yourself and really be honest with you about what it is that you want as it relates to whatever this 3 is, and, you know, going after it. This awakening is the hangman in the traditional tarot, also represents, like the 7 of water, 7 of cups, the planet Neptune and the sign Pisces, which it rules for me. The next one is not upright, so I'll put it here for some advice for the masculine. Now this one is, and we'll take a look at the 3 of fire. And it is ego, or the devil, which represents the sign of Capricorn, which is what I said this was about. This 8 of air. It's the same restrictive energy of the devil. It's you feeling trapped and the need for you to get to know what you want and decide what you want so that you can free yourself. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. And look at it here with the fire energy. Mars in Capricorn. The inability to move on or the perceived inability to move on a party of 3. Because you got action that you want to take. Mars is moving you to, but it's in Capricorn, the devil. It's restricted. So you got to take a step back, look at things from a different perspective after going within, deciding, being honest with you about what it is you want and your goals, your dreams. Manifest that, put that into the universe, and then prepare to move forward. Believe that you actually will. Will yourself to, and you will. Boom. So on this spread, further advice to the masculine is the Queen of Water, tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition after you talk to yourself. Believe you, right? Care for yourself and others too. This is about nurturing what your needs, your senses, and those around you. And feminine. It's moved over to us. The 9 of air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. So we're guided to, stay away from this, because we've already been shown the natural and nice progression of moving forward to the 10, that there is nothing to worry about because our difficulties are coming to an end. And we've been shown this message, like I said, more than once, because it's the same exact one that came up in the general. All right, so on that note, let's see what's coming up with this moon. Beginning with the Animal Tarot and the Princess of Summer, which is the Page of Cups and represents the sign of Pisces for me, but can be a Scorpio or a Cancer as well in your life, impactful upon you during this period, or anybody with these traits and attributes during this period impactful upon you. It can be you yourself, sensitive, kind, open-hearted, inexperienced. Any offers of love that come your way are powered by this energy, or any offers of love that you make are powered by this energy. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. Opening to the Ace of Autumn, you can expect a windfall of abundance. This is Venus in Taurus, right? Such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or a rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or a promotion or a relationship, right? Commitment, or the prospect of some sort of profitable business venture or investment as well. And even if it's one of those general things, it's something that's going to make you extremely happy, sitting there opposite the Page of Cups. Ace of Autumn, and speaking of that, opening to the 10 of Summer or Cups. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, because this is your relations. I said all your relations, so not just family. Be it relatives or chosen family, exactly. Close friends. Congratulations also may be in order on a happy and fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. This can be about getting together with friends. Again, it makes you, it's an abundant situation, a lot of love, people being real about how they feel, and enjoying. This can be about you being social, maybe getting together with people that you care about for, you know, Passover or Easter. Ten of Summer, and opening to the Chariot, similar to the Six of Air that sat here for the feminine. It's about movement and positive movement in the right direction. It's about victory, right? That Six of Air sat atop the Six of Fire, which is about victory. This is like both of those in one. It can be about travel too. It's a card of movement. Movement and victory. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition you're receiving. So similar to what I said about the Three of Earth, this is about abundance that you deserve. The Chariot represents the sign of Cancer, or perhaps another water sign. And again, it's here opposite the Ten of Water. Ten of Summer, I'll cut. And it's the King of Winter, intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional is the King of Winter. This could be Mercury, this could be Venus, or a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, impactful upon your life during this period. It can be the Libra moon stepping up. All this time is very important that you communicate, at this time rather, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find in whatever area it is you seek. This can have to do with Venus. It can have to do with the Mercury retrograde, or it can be an actual person impactful upon your life. It can be your energy, since it is a court card. And a moment ago, we were crowned by the Three of Earth. Now the Three of Earth, or Three of Autumn, is our overall energy. Your most satisfying and profitable career or relationship comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. So we just saw that play out, particularly on the side of the masculine, in the other spread. Masculine is the Sixth of Summer now. The love and care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. On top of that, this can be about somebody coming back into your life, or you entering somebody's life again. Can represent soulmate relationships, past life relationships. Surrounding the masculine is that Eight of Winter that crowned him in the other spread. So the same energy is still with us. We're moving through it. Okay. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you affirm your freedom. So everything I just said written on this card in the other spread. And the masculine subconscious, it's the Prince of Autumn, who's trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. And this can be Capricorn, right? This can be that Mars in Capricorn showing up. This can be Venus in Taurus. This can be the masculine's energy himself. This can be Virgo, right? Virgo, Libra, cusp. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can decide immediate action and take it and get as much accomplished as possible. So this is about divine timing again. The Prince of Autumn is trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. He's also slow moving. He's like this slow and steady wins the race, but he's always victorious in what it is he's doing. So this is about going within, making that plan. I decided I want this, and how I'm going to go about it is this way. That's your task, masculine. And here's that 10 of winter that was at the root in the other spread. It now crowns the feminine, so it's moved from here to here. It's the end of a career path, project, or relationship. And that can bring feelings that are mixed of joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these things and trust that a brighter future awaits. So again, it's about believing and receiving that it's the end of difficulty. And we're surrounded by the King of Autumn. Very nice. He's compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful, as will relationships. Also, exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources, including love, that come your way will be invested wisely. And here's the 3 of spring that was at the heart of the matter in the last spread. Stop to take time to review and make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all your accomplishments, but you may also need patience. So similar to the masculine, he needs patience because he's dealing with the Prince of Autumn. We may need patience as well to move into the next phase. Again, it's about divine timing. So this can be about the progression toward the 4 of spring, the 4 of wands, or it can be reflective of some sort of party of 3 situation for us as well. And as it states here, it can be about abundance. Crowning and sitting under the King of Autumn, that's quite possible. Maybe it's about a fire sign and an earth sign, which I've been talking about for weeks, right? Particularly Virgo and Leo. Crowning, boom. It is about the progression for most of us and for the most part from the 3 of spring to the 4 of spring. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career or relationship, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. And we have the 4 of spring sitting here next to the 6 of summer or 6 of cups. This can absolutely be about a relationship that you've gone back to. Maybe you were never dating before, but it's somebody from your past, your childhood or something. They come back into your life masculine or you into theirs, and it works out very well. At the root, the Prince of Winter. Get ready for progress to speed up. So this is about timing too. This whole row at the bottom here about timing. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. Make a decision how to get out of this feeling of being stuck and how to reduce your party who doesn't necessarily mean you well, and maybe that's been running their mouth. At the heart of the matter, boom. Doesn't this look just like the other spread? You guys saw me not only shuffle, but use different cards. This is a whole different deck of cards. Same energy. That's what happens when you're a real psychic as opposed to some other people who perform readings. The ego, again, is the devil in the traditional tarot. It was at the heart of the matter before it was here. It shows up here again. You may feel that you're trapped in a situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth. I talked about this a lot in the general reading too, that I felt not only addictions, but with some like addictions to money and toxic relationship with money that needed to end. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. Ego is the devil in the traditional tarot, major arcana card number 15. And it sits here next to the 8 of winter, the same way it crossed it in the other spread. Now it's sitting next to it, side by side. Both of these reflect an illusion of being trapped and one's need to break themselves out of this. How are you going to do that? With the energy of the Prince of Winter, who may very well be a Libra and does the right thing, or a Gemini or an Aquarius seeking freedom. Right? A Gemini that wants love and balance as it relates to that. I'm going to further clarify these with some cards related to love, speaking of love. But first, the Ascended Master cards and purification with Bright Tara. And this is about this very important need to cleanse ourselves of toxic energy right now. I've been talking for the whole period of Lent because I felt it right from the beginning that people would be experiencing their jewelry falling apart, their stones cracking in half. You know, I tried to tell you things that I wouldn't know were going to occur. I wouldn't know otherwise know why not seeing them. Were going to occur in your life so that you could know that it was true. Again, like the same way I tend to put my reputation on the line. And I guess the hugest one this year was I said the Eagles would win the Super Bowl. That was, I mean, they were a long shot and they won the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't think anybody else that does this told their viewers, you know, on whom, if they were going to bet, they should, in order to help them to become more abundant. So I do these things when I say these things, it's because I'm trying to show you guys on that unconditional love. I'm trying to be blessed to be a blessing to you because I see something that maybe you don't. So this time it's about purification. I've been talking about this and the need to get energy healing, whether you get it from me or not, you need to get it, especially if you've been experiencing any of those things that I've been describing. And that's what purification is about, this card. And opening to teacher, which is about experiences and life lessons. And it's also very hermit-like. That could be about the need to go within or to seek enlightenment or provide it to someone else. This can be about cleansing yourself so that you're free of blocks so that you can come into enlightenment. That would allow you to come into enlightenment. My clients are this, Raphael too with the sirens. My clients are always contacting me like, oh, now I'm having like these dreams. I hadn't had dreams in so long. That was one of the other things I described. Dreams blocked. Now they're so vivid, they're back because that where they were stuck, that blockage has been cleared, right? So that's been purified. So now you can come into that enlightenment that you need. Purification. And that gives way to abundance as well. Retreat into nature. The green man is, it's kind of like a male or masculine Venus. Like when you see the green man, you know the abundance is coming your way. But you may have to remove some blocks first. And you can do so through different means of meditation and energy healing. And outside in nature is the best way to do this. If you live in an area that's at all conducive to that, spending some time actually with Mother Nature. Right, to purify yourself in that way. Meditation, intention, prayer, it's all the same thing. So whatever your ideology is at the root, you know, as long as you make the positive affirmations, it doesn't matter what you call them. It's all to the same ends. And to bring about the power of joy. Purification. I will cut. Choose peace. So rather than drama, basically, choose peace. Again, today's Good Friday. So this week, it would have been celebrated that Jesus, if you believe, came through the city riding a donkey, the city of Jerusalem, riding a donkey. Now, if he had come through on a horse, we talked about last week, that would have signified that he was coming back victorious from war. I mean, with with the energy of war surrounding him, as the victor, and proud, and as he should be. But on a donkey, made it more reflective of peace. I come in peace. So that's what we're supposed to be doing too when we choose peace. And our overall energy is going to be trust of Vishnu. Here atop the Six of Cups, choose peace. So in these relationships, again, whether they are old friends, familial, something from your childhood, you never got over it, you never healed it, a past life relationship, a soulmate with whom you have some sort of conflict, we're choosing peace. Even with a quote-unquote karmic soulmate, soulmate that you've decided you don't belong with, it's choosing peace to separate even. And it's doing what's right for both people. So that all of those are possibilities there. As it relates to your children, too, there's some sort of decision or something you have to make in that regard. Whatever it is, choose peace. Atop the Eight of Winter. And it's your own peace, too. I don't know why I keep saying I'm going to move on, but I keep getting stuck because I keep hearing things. It's your own peace, too. Peace of mind. Like, choose that. Choose to go with your own feelings as opposed to what others might dictate to you. And there goes the sirens again. Atop the Eight of Winter, rather than being closed off and feeling restricted and stuck and trapped and not having the esteem or confidence to step up, like trust, as our overall energy says, that you can do that. And open your heart to love, says Jesus. Very nice seeing him on today, Good Friday. Atop the Prince of Autumn, artistic expression, says Paul the Venetian. You can come up with creative ways to map out what it is your goals are, your action plan. That's why Paul the Venetian shows up here with the Prince of Autumn or Knight of Earth. Yes, make a plan. Think about it. Put your creativity into doing it so that it's sort of customized to you and your needs. Atop the Ten of Winter for the feminine, right, says thought. This, for some, it's about writing someone or something off and like being done with it. Others may want to actually write and journal some sort of experience through which they've gone. Maybe make note of the day you quit smoking, you quit drinking, you quit taking drugs, you put down your painkillers, you ended a toxic relationship, whatever it is. And we've got the moon here with him too. So this is very reflective of Mercury's thought. Mercury thought, Metatron, Enoch, all the same being at different vibrations. This is very much Mercury retrograde, full moon, all at the same time sort of thing. And saying like, even despite the Mercury retrograde, that may have been what's causing you difficulties, like all is going to be fine with that same surrender. And one of the ways that you can do that is by writing, getting out your feelings, some expression. And that can be a release. That can be meditation. That can be energy healing as well. Now, I'm not saying that that's enough as it relates to some of the things I've been talking about. Like one of my clients, for example, she was being visited by her father, her deceased father's spirit. He was angry, he was violent. He needed to be guided to the light. So she couldn't do that herself. She sought me, even though I don't have that listed on my website. She sought me for help with that, and that's what we did in that situation. So yes, people can do things on their own. I don't suggest that you not try to help yourself. I just suggest that if you are unable to help yourself in certain situations, don't let your ego get the best of you. I got this, I can do this, and you're not an energy healer. You're not a demonologist. You don't know anything about the paranormal, and you try to do it yourself. It's just not wise. My professional opinion. Here atop the King of Autumn. Clear and shield your energy. Boom! Thank you, angels, says El Moria. You want to come into this abundance. You want the flow. This is what we have to do first. Atop the Three of Spring, or Three of Wands, as part of that energy healing, drink more water, says Oshun, because that helps you to, it's definitely necessary as it relates to ascension. And anything that I do in my energy healing, I always tell my people, make sure you drink a lot of water because they become thirsty. Something was coming through connecting these two again. I lost it. But drink a lot of water. Because this here, it's like making plans for the future. Make plans for the fact that you are ascending, you are progressing, is what that would mean. Here, crowning atop the four of spring, go now toward this peace and joy and happiness, says Serapis Bey. Atop the Prince of Winter, crossing, clear, and shield your energy. Boom! Energy healing. Maybe you want to get your energy healing from a Gemini, like me. A Gemini that performs energy healing. You don't have to, though. I just want you to get some if you need it. But here it is again, the need for that. And again, not an accident that it's crossing, clear, and shield your energy, and not an accident that it's sitting here next to drink more water, because they all go hand in hand. At the heart of the matter, atop the devil or ego, see the other person's point of view. So rather than being stuck in that ego and maybe being Taurus the bull-like in that moment, yeah, see the other person's point of view so that way you can choose peace and do the fair thing, do the right thing. Open your heart and to love. That will enable you maybe to see the other person's point of view and then choose peace. But perhaps you can't do that until you heal your energy. You can't even get to that point of opening your heart to love until you heal your energy. And once you healed it, shield it, protect it, keep it that way, because your abundance is coming in, and that's what the devil wants to stop. One of the ways you can do that is by drinking water and self-expression. Let's add some love cards to this. And for that, I'm going to go to Tony Carmine's Land on Universal Love Oracle, beginning with birth. Very important as it relates to the rebirth and the resurrection, which will occur during this period as well on the 1st. Right, so the day following the full moon, we have the 9, or the ending, and then we have the 10 and the new beginning, or we have the 10 all around as the ending, and then we have the 1 from the 10, that's the new beginning. However you want to look at it, it works out either way through a few different numerical languages. Birth. There go the sirens again. Opening to forgiveness with Kuan Yin. Forgiveness and listening, very reflective of that energy of Aquarius, again with the star here, and of course the Aquarius, an air sign. We're all about communication. That involves listening. That's part of the communication. This is listening to the guidance that you're receiving from above, listening to messages that come through one another telepathically, and this can also be connected to actual communication as well, but making sure like you hear people, you listen, and then respond accordingly as it, whatever's best for you. Forgiveness and divine guidance. Again, listening to the divine guidance. And here's more of that full moon, and here's more of that 8, right? Signifies the infinite of the guidance, but also the fact that it's karmic. It's of the universe. It's gifted to you. You have to surrender to it, though, and listen. Divine guidance. I'll go one more, and it is retreat. Also reflective of air and earth signs, specifically Aquarius and earth. But the need to, it could be also specifically Venus, right? Ruler of both Libra and Taurus together. And the need to, clear out, to meditate, to make intentions, positive affirmations, pray, think positively, all those things. And maybe if you can do those things out within nature, do that. To receive guidance and then follow it, listen to it, and then that's what's going to bring about the abundance. Divine guidance. I'm going to cut. Eternal flame, very reflective of fire signs for me. Could be Mars, could be Jupiter, Could be any Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or just reflective of the flame and the tie, the connection between, you know, two beings in love. And the overall energy is relationship, which is about healing the relationship with yourself if you are unhappy with the relationships you have with others. So it's more 9 of Earth. Atop choose peace, and the 6 of Cups is abundance. All right, so this love wanting to come to you, again with the choosing of peace. And the positive thinking, positive affirmation, prayers, meditation, connecting with Mother Nature, clearing those blocks, energy healing. That brings about these connections and reconnections in a really positive way for one's own inner peace, peace of mind, joy, but also that of others. Atop, open your heart to love. Forgiveness is going to be required. That's what's going to set you free, right? The truth will set you free. You may need forgiveness for it. Maybe you've done somebody wrong. Somebody may have done you wrong, and you may be the one that's needing to give the forgiveness. That can free you. Maybe you're too wrapped up in ego to extend the forgiveness, and that's what's keeping you immobile. Whatever the case is, if you open your heart to love, forgive yourself and them, and have them do the same with you, that will free you. The truth will set you free. Atop artistic expression, and underneath Jesus is Jesus yet again. The top artistic expression and the Prince of Autumn, which is funny for me because I always say Jesus is a Virgo. The sun is a Virgo. The universal heart. So this is where the masculine subconscious is. Again, trying to do the right thing and to be more like the image in which he's made. I like that. That will help him to forgiveness, which will lead to his abundance. I keep getting drawn back to this abundance and the sun here. The SON, who again I feel is a Virgo. I often say when I come to like the Hierophant, the high priest, Jesus was the high priest, or, you know, a high priest. When I come to the Hierophant, I say represents the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus. Again, this for me is Venus. Planet of love, choose peace. In the tarot, the Hierophant or high priest is Taurus. But for me, he's a Virgo. The high priest is a Virgo. And so I keep coming back to it, but I could be drawn back to it because of the Taurus aspect and the Venus connection as well. Whatever it is, I think maybe more so than any other masculine, those zodiac signs, the earth signs, and maybe Libra, which Venus also rules, and about which this reading is, right? It's the Libra full moon. Also Gemini, Venus, the esoteric ruler of Gemini. And then as it relates to the energy of Capricorn and restriction, and more Jesus and the need to open one's heart to love, I think this has to do with Mars. So maybe also particularly Aries and Scorpio, ruled by Mars, would be affected, right? Mars, the masculine planet of love. Open your heart to love. That's going to help you to get restricted when you recognize, okay, I understand what's happening to me now. I'm being pulled into this Mars and Capricorn energy. So I don't know which way I'm going. If I do this, everything else will fall into place. Also, maybe more so Scorpio, because not only its ruler Mars in Capricorn, but its ruler Pluto approaching retrograde since this winter in Capricorn. And it actually goes into retrograde the week after for which this reading is. I think the 17th of April, it becomes official. So not even the week after, days after. So that could be having something to do with that too. So maybe, again, more so for the divine masculine or masculine energies having to deal with this and feeling this restriction here, and maybe being a little stubborn and needing to find room in your heart for some compassion and forgiveness, and dropping your ego, dropping that Capricorn energy, dropping that devil, which sits here next to this. The earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. The air signs, Libra, Gemini. The fire sign, Aries. Probably more so than anybody else. Feminine. Spiritual growth. Awesome. Because why? We've made it through this storm, whatever this was. Some of us got betrayed. Maybe that's what the forgiveness is about. Or some of us did some betraying. In the traditional tarot, the 10 of winter or 10 of swords is a man laying flat on his face with 10 daggers in his back, right, bleeding to death because he was betrayed. His friends weren't really his friends. His loved one wasn't really his loved one, at least not in that moment. They didn't act like it. It also has to do with, again, any type of codependency, any people, places, or things upon which we're codependent or that are codependent upon us. Whatever the case is, we're going to write those things off, right? We're going to let them go. Those people, those places, those things, whatever the situation is, we're writing that off. For some, this is a very toxic relationship and it can involve an actual divorce, like papers. That's what the writing is about. Time to draw up the papers. Or some other legal situation that was difficult. It was a struggle. It's over. And you just take the positive lessons with you. It's kind of like in this same deck, there's two cards. Heaven on Earth and Golden Memories. And the two of those are basically about, well, Heaven on Earth is if you want to experience heaven on earth, in order to do that, you got to make room for it, right? You got to get rid of what's hell. You got to get rid of the devil stuff in your life, the hell in your life, to make room for the heaven. So we have to release those things. The Golden Memories card is similar because it's about taking the positive lessons with us, right, toward our spiritual growth and our advancement and leaving the rest behind. I always say dropping it like a hot fucking rock because the card looks like a volcano has erupted. So I think that that's what we're being told there. Surrounding the feminine. Oh, boom. This is the card I'm talking about. Golden Memories. Okay, so again, once we've cleared our energy, we don't pick up the same crap and load ourselves down with the same toxicity. Okay, in order to approach this abundance. And the fact that it's the king of autumn, doesn't really mean anything. This can represent any of the earth signs and, yourself having this energy or somebody else being particularly impactful upon you that is of the earth element or, these traits, likened to these traits, these attributes. Or this could be Venus, even though it's the king of autumn. This could still be Venus in her capacity as the planet of abundance, of love and money, and ruler of Taurus, earth sign Taurus. This also might have to do with, like I said, that there could be strife and difficulty in your life because of a fire sign, particularly Leo, perhaps. But that doesn't exclude Sagittarius and Aries, also. It's funny, the other day, some kind of, these posts about the zodiac signs and stuff. And so this one was about Aries. It was a joke about Aries. I don't remember what it was, but one of my Facebook friends, is in fact an Aries, and she got on and said, somebody said something about Leo. Like, a fellow Gemini said, I tend to have most of my difficulties with Leo. And I said, well, Leo, they can be very narcissistic. That's the thing. And, similar to what I said about Gemini, it is what it is. We can be bipolar. I'm a Leo rising. It is what it is. Leos can be very narcissistic. Everything is about them. They find a way to make everything about them. I've even had death of somebody else. Somebody's in the ground, and a former Leo friend tried to make the situation about her and like a what about me and cause a big scene. It was really ridiculous. In any case, so Aries' friend gets on and she agrees with that. She says, yes, Leo's totally narcissistic. She says that, she goes on to say, like, that doesn't mean I don't have any friends with a Leo. I said, oh, same here. I'm a Leo rising. My son is a Leo Virgo. My father's a Leo. His twin sister, of course, is also a Leo. You know, love him. But yeah, it's just the truth. It is what it is, right? Truth is the truth. And I said, a lot of them try to blame it on you guys, on Aries, or try to attribute, you know, that kind of behavior to you guys. And I said, the difference is, both can be overbearing, but when Aries, their overbearing energy is like that of a father, like the Emperor. And, you know, the Emperor card represents the sign of Aries in the tarot because it represents the planet Mars, which Aries rules. So Aries can be overbearing. It's like in a father type of way. I said, but Leo, it's like a sociopath kind of way. And it really is. So that's what you want. That's what I've been getting over the past few weeks, that negative aspect of Leo. And that's what you want to avoid. If you yourself are of a fire element, and particularly Leo, you know, do a look around. And see if it's you that's holding on to any kind of negative energy or emotion like that. And that may be something that you need to release toward your spiritual growth. And then the good news is, guess what? You know, you've been through, again, that storm, this eruption, and it's coming to an end. And we're just going to take the positivity with us, and we're going to leave that aspect of us behind going forward, right? The old me is done and gone with this full moon. In the feminine subconscious, reflection. So this kind of goes with this, right? This is about like looking around, like I just said, doing like a self-assessment of our environment, of ourselves, of everything, at our present, right? And then back. This is my past. What do I need to take with me, if anything? And what do I want to leave behind? Because it's holding me back. It's restricting me. And then toward the future. Not necessarily in that order. I mean, you could have already looked toward the future. I want this. These are my goals. These are my dreams. In order to achieve that, what do I have to leave behind? And what do I need to take with me? But also, sitting here atop the drink more water and the Three of Spring, it's about the ascension. So Three of Spring, again, it's about like building. The building of abundance. The growth. The growth. We started with 1 stake in the ground. Now we got 2. Now we got 3, which we're building toward having 4. Which we know is right here, right? So it's in reach. It's achievable. What do I do to get there? How do I get there? And one of the things from the perspective of the as above, so below, that if we're growing here and we're ascending here, being promoted here, then we're being promoted from above too. And for that, I got to drink more water. And release some stuff that's holding me back, that's blocking my progress. Crowning atop that 4 of Wands, and the go now, Serapis Bay, is meditation. So more of this, again, need to make positive affirmations, intentions, prayer, energy healing, all of these things. And then that's going to help you to decide once and for all, yeah, I need my peace. This is helping me to get centered and to find that peace. That's what I want. It sits here atop the 4 of Spring, which is all about the peace and the joy and the comfort, right? A happy home life. So that's toward what we're going now. But we got to let go of this to get this. These two crossing here. Both lead to this. At the root, atop energy healing, and the Prince of Winter is an air sign. This card is like air and water for me, and particularly Aquarius and maybe Pisces, but it can be any water sign too. And it's about the need to follow your intuition and to clear out. So it goes with the energy healing, because we got to clear what's blocking the third eye here, and maybe the crown chakra, maybe the throat chakra too. Everything that's ruled by an air sign, that's a communication center, with the Prince of Winter here as part of this group, so that we can think clearly, we can see clearly, we can get whatever we have to get off of our chest. We can speak up for ourselves, not even like not only like a Prince of Winter, but like a King of Winter at that point. Again, the mystic could be an Aquarius, especially when coupled with the Prince of Winter here, or the Knight of Swords. Gemini, Libra, or somebody with those traits or attributes, and or that needs to get something, that needs to clear these blocks here. Get something off their chest, off their mind, or get clarity. It's sitting here next to, again, with the Jesus, the universal heart, and the Prince of Autumn, and the artistic expression. There could be a need to come into some enlightenment. The Jesus, again, the high priest, the hermit, enlightenment. At the heart of the matter, atop, see the other person's point of view, and the devil or ego. Aww. Soulmate. Yes, is your soul. This is your soulmate. So it crosses what I said was the soulmate card of the tarot, the Six of Summer. So what do we need to do? See that person's point of view, and again, extend some forgiveness. Maybe there's been blocks. Again, we haven't been able to see. We've been blocked, maybe because of our own behavior, our own, we haven't made it positive affirmations. We haven't prayed. We haven't willed ourselves better. We haven't sought professional help in those areas if we needed that. But also, somebody could have done this to us. Somebody could have afflicted us, especially during this period where I've been feeling it the strongest over the past couple of weeks, basically the whole season of Lent. Some sort of magic, some sort of manipulation, Obi, Santeria, voodoo, put that on you, that has blocked you from recognizing your soulmate, from being able to see what's real and what's not, what the truth is. And so now you're being guided by this energy of Pisces, again, because it's very much, this see the other person's point of view is very Seven of Cups, and the moon, really, and the need to use one's intuition and to sort of see through things. Also, the Hangman, and all of those represent Pisces for me, and the planet Neptune. And I don't think I'm going to do the Isis cards. Maybe I'll include them in the weekly general or the weekly love, perhaps. But I do want to show you that I had shuffled to begin with Divine Sunchild and blessings of the Sun Falcon. So again, the sun. And this is Good Friday. And I do think that those blessings are attached to not only the S-U-N, but the S-O-N. Further advice to the masculine, the Page of Earth, which is a Virgo for me, but of course can be a Capricorn or a Taurus as well. Scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful is the Page of Earth. Good news about financial matters, masculine. Wanting to do something more challenging maybe in a new area of study. This can also be connected to relationships as well, indicating longevity and value, worth. Feminine, boom, the Two of Fire. So we got the 2, the 3, and the 4. We made a beautiful progression as it relates to general energies. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. But of course, this is also the divine union, or quote unquote twin flame card of the tarot. Masculine, very nice. This is about your new beginning, right? Once you close off some of these things with the energy of the full moon, and make sure you make some full moon intentions, right? Talk to the full moon. Let it know what you no longer want in your life, what you decided after you pull that hermit move, or high priest move, or connect with the universal heart, your inner Christ. What don't you want in your life anymore? And let the full moon know and allow it to remove those things from you. This is about your new beginning, though. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. You can do it. Remember, you're the magician. You can manifest this. But also, here again, we have a card that represents for me the planet Venus, ruler of Taurus and Libra. On the same day, March 31st, Venus enters Taurus, and we have a Libra full moon. So this card is all about this reading, and vice versa. Feminine. Four of Winter. Thoroughly think things through, right? What do I want? What don't I want? Before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer bring you the answers you seek. Boom. Masculine, take charge of this situation. Moses. And today is also Passover. It's not just Good Friday. It's the first full day of Passover, which began last night at sundown. And what that means is it also the same period of the Exodus, the year 1313 BCE, which was Moses' last year on this earth. 1313 is another 4 and 4, of course, another 1111 and 1111, of course, or another 8. So more karmic energy, more justice, more abundance, and everything else that 8 means. In supreme math, 8 means build, destroy, which means like if you're not building, if you're not contributing to fixing the situation, to a resolve, then you are destroying it. You're ruining everything. Feminine. Focus upon your strengths and let go of the weaknesses. And masculine, very nice. You are on path, golden path, and you're on what this path is. It's not only the journey, but it's the path toward healing. For me, I always compare it to the Yellow Brick Road. And in the movie, in the play, whatever it is, The Wiz, The Wizard of Oz, whichever one you watch, the Yellow Brick Road. At the end of the Yellow Brick Road is the Emerald City. Well, at the end of this path, for me, is the Emerald Ray. And that is the ray that Archangel Raphael, who's been with us throughout this reading, with all his sirens and everything, that's the ray that he governs. And it's the heart chakra. So when you guys meditate, and since you need to open your heart to love, I think that this is further advice for you. What you specifically may wish to focus upon, in addition to third eye, crown, and throat, is heart chakra. And lastly, feminine. Embrace. Some more of this energy of Sagittarius for me. Temperance, healing. Yes, it is a beautiful couple in a tight embrace, but really what this card was intended to depict is one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a harmonious way. And for me, it very much reminds me of balance, representative of Libra, of course. So there could be more Libra energy or air energy, or Venus. So possibly, again, more Taurus, more Gemini too. But also Sagittarius, because it's very temperance for me. And temperance in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. Although every time I look at it, I say, this is an Aquarius, because every temperance card I've ever seen illustrated, the way it's drawn, it's some sort of being holding these water vessels and standing in water. That's a water bearer. So Aquarius as well. But the idea is for us to reach a point where our inner masculine and feminine can come together this way. And that will allow us to be able to come together with another this way. This can also be about positivity in your general partnerships, friends, business, things going well for you. I think that's it. I'm going to come back with some other stuff. I wish you guys peace in the name of the Mother and of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit and all beings and things holy. Amen. Namaste, angels.